So this is Steven Crowder. If you're unfamiliar, he's a far-right, conservative, political, talking commentary kind of person or whatever. I know a lot of those words meant the same thing. He is absolutely terrible in every way. And he's been in the news a little bit recently for some drama that he's been fabricating, honestly. He was offered $50 million to become a host at the Daily Wire, Ben Shapiro's Daily Wire, and he turned it down and then put them on blast and did everything he could to destroy the reputation of the Daily Wire. Why? Got me. Well, anyways, as it turns out, Tucker Carlson was fired from Fox News, and this guy had some things to say about it. Now, the title of this, YouTube video that I want to watch is Tucker Carlson's Firing, the Grand Plan. Talks about being blackmailed and extorted by Candace Owens. Oh, man, it's so good. That's at the beginning of this. But I had to skip to the end to find the Tucker Carlson stuff. That's what we're going to start watching. No context necessary. He was just talking about Don Lemon being fired from CNN and how that's different from Tucker Carlson being fired. Anyways, yeah, let's give this a watch. A couple of quick notes I wanted to mention before we actually do watch. My channel, as some people can probably tell, views are suffering, so I would appreciate it if you guys are regular viewers. If you watch a video, watch from beginning to end. Don't turn it off in the middle. That is one of the factors that YouTube uses to determine how far a video is going to go, or if it's going to, fall and die, basically. If regular viewers watch the entire thing, it gets a massive boost. So if you guys watch one of my videos, try to watch it from beginning to end. I would appreciate it. Anyway, all right. As I said, walking into this, he's talking about Don Lemon and how Don Lemon being fired from CNN is totally different. He's about to play a clip from AOC. Oh, and while we watch, we're going to play some Mario Maker 2 in the background. Quick cutaway. We'll get back to it in a second. Just quick reminder. The YouTube algorithm operates off of a few factors. It pushes a video further if you watch it to the very end, if you like the video, and if you subscribe. If possible, I would appreciate it if you guys watched my videos to the very end at least. If you start one, make it to the end. All right, sorry for the interjection. Let's continue.
Tucker's firing has leftists like AOC. Ugh. And this is why we say, I'm not... Don Lemon was fired because his ratings were bad. Let's understand the difference here, right? Don Lemon's ratings were terrible no matter where he went. Primetime...
Okay, what is he talking about? Don Lemon is actually, he's been with CNN for, ever, hasn't he? What does he mean he had bad ratings? He was not terrible. Dude, I hate this level. This is terrible. I mean, Tucker Carlson obviously had better ratings because Fox News is kind of condensed. Every conservative on planet Earth practically watches Fox News, but we'll get into that more in a minute. Keep listening here.
Time, bad. Morning, bad. He was ratings cancer. Yeah. Tucker brought in record ratings. He did incredibly well. The issue is the boycotting from giant leftist corporations. So there's a huge difference between the market determining that your show is not successful and deliberately trying to remove someone simply because they have points of view that you dislike. And so that's why it's...
Dude, I am sucking. I'm just listening to Steven Crowder is a problem. Aside from that, so is he saying that Tucker was removed from Fox News because he had views that Fox disagreed with? That doesn't sound right. And also, we don't actually know why Tucker was fired from Fox News yet. We'll probably know in the next few days. Who knows? Honestly, I thought we'd have known by now. We still don't know. But yeah, he's just speculating if he's trying to give a reason why Tucker was removed from Fox News.
I don't want to say unsettling, it's expected, but of course it's aggravating to see people like AOC giddy with excitement at the idea of corporate censorship.
Corporate censorship? No, she's not giddy at the idea of corporate censorship. They're going to show the clip of her in a second, but no one is excited for corporate censorship. But Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is rightfully excited about the fact that Tucker Carlson has lost influence. This is the highest that he will ever be. His peak was Fox News. Bill O'Reilly was Fox News's top host for a while, his top-rated guy, or its top-rated guy, for years. And eventually, Bill O'Reilly was fired. And that's as high as he ever was when he was the host at Fox. It was only downhill from there. Megyn Kelly, Glenn Beck, all of these people at one time or another were Fox News' top-rated people. And they fell, never to be seen again. So whatever Tucker ends up doing after this, probably a Rumble deal. I mean, hell, Russia offered him a position with their propaganda arm. Dead serious. Whatever it is he ends up doing, he'll never be as high as he was on Fox News. Now, hang on. Give me a second here. Let me step back a few seconds. Listen to this again.
That's why it's, I don't want to say unsettling, it's expected, but of course it's aggravating to people like AOC.
Right, talking about AOC. So AOC is giddy, not about the fact that he has been censored by corporate overlords, whatever other garbage like that. Fox News has no obligation to host his show. She's not giddy over that. She's giddy over the fact that Tucker is now on a downswing. He is going to fail, inevitably now. Almost certainly. I can't, unless he, like, even Glenn Beck, being the top guy at Fox for a while, tried to start his own network, and it did pretty well. The Blaze. I mean, okay, but it was no Fox News. So that's what she's happy about, that this Russian propagandist who actually had a job offered to him by Russia, by Russia's propaganda arm, no longer has as much influence over society as he used to. Rest assured, though, there will be another host, another extremist, another stochastic terrorist like Tucker to step in. Probably Jesse Waters. That's my guess.
Giddy with excitement at the idea of corporate censorship.
Tucker Carlson is out at Fox News. Couldn't have happened to a better guy.
What the hell was that noise? That was weird. By the by, I don't know if you can tell, but I'm using a different camera than usual. It's going to deactivate in about 20 minutes or so, or less, actually, maybe soon. I'm just going to have to hit a button on it and reactivate it. So if I disappear, just my face, rest assured, I'll be back.
Liar, whore, and you know it.
What I will say, though,
Dude, are they using like a soundboard to mock her right now? Is that what's happening?
is
Go ahead, cutie.
while
Spit it
I'm
out.
very glad that the person that was arguably responsible for
Give me a margarita.
some of the largest, driving some of the most amounts of death threats and violent threats, not just to my office, but to plenty of people across
Like
the
the
country.
pipe bomb that was never placed in the
I also
office you were
kinda
never
feel
in.
Like
What? Did she ever claim to have been in a room with a pipe bomb before? What's he even talking about right now? There were pipe bombs placed at the Capitol on January 6th, 2 of them. And there's credible, though circumstantial, evidence that it might have been Marjorie Taylor Greene. I mean, that's neither here nor there. There were definitely pipe bombs at the Capitol. Like, what are they talking about? They're just propagandists, once again, looking for an opportunity to lie to their audience and confuse them and make her the enemy, once again, as always.
She was 6
I'm,
buildings away,
like,
though.
waiting for the cutscene at the end of a Marvel movie after all the credits have rolled, and then you see like the villain's like hand reemerge out to grip over like the end of a building or something.
Oh, your throat.
But
Dude, are they like laughing about the idea that like she would be strangled? Is that what they're doing right now? Seriously, like what goes through their heads? How do they arrive at the conclusions that they arrive at? That it's like a good thing or funny or enjoyable to like joke about people dying. I've never in my life, well, okay, when I was a teenager, I was kind of a D-bag, but I have never, at least as a public figure, ever joked about anything like that. Like, what the hell is wrong with them, dude? Really?
deplatforming works, and it is important.
And then
Eyes on the road, bitch.
There you go.
She's driving
Good
right
things-
now.
Yeah, she says deplatforming works. I completely agree. 100%. If deplatforming didn't work, people wouldn't be as upset about it as they are. If somebody is a terrorist, as I feel Tucker is, they don't need a platform. on YouTube or Fox or whatever. Tucker has stoked violence in people that are desperate to create change, you know. Glenn Beck did this exact same thing. He actually was responsible for nearly a terrorist attack. It was only stopped by a cop who pulled this guy over. He was on his way to some company or organization, I don't remember what it was, that Glenn Beck had been talking about for like ever, about this, how evil it is and how disgusting it is, and they're taking your kids and blah, 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 blah. This dude gets pulled over by a cop, had a bunch of guns in his car, and was getting ready to go do something psychotic, and was like jailed for that because he like had the intent and the whole 9 yards. They're stochastic terrorists at Fox News, really. And I wish that, like, I love our free speech laws in the U.S. Seriously, I do. They're a little bit too loose, though. If people like Tucker Carlson can get on the air and cause terrorist events the way that he does, they need to be just a little bit more strict.
This can happen.
Oh, no, come on. She has a chauffeur. She appears as though she's one of the plebes.
She's driving with her paws, her hind legs.
Her hooves.
Her hooves. Thank you, hooves.
Yeah.
Hooves.
Yeah, you guys are all on the ball today. Deplatforming.
Wow, dude. Just, why? Like, what is... These people just bother me.
Works. There you go. This is what they want. To be clear, I don't want deplatforming of anyone that I disagree with. I want you to see the different points of view and let the cards fall where they may. They want people to be removed, and then they never debate the ideas. And
no. I mean, people have been debating these ideas for a long time, but when I hear, like, okay, I don't know if you guys saw this, but not too long ago, I reviewed this video from a KKK Grand Wizard. It's on my channel, on this channel. I talked about this KKK Grand Wizard in 1982 giving an interview with CNN. And the ideas that this Grand Wizard of the KKK was putting forward are the exact ideas, word for word, coming out of Steven Crowder's mouth, or, you know, Glenn Beck's, Bill O'Reilly's, Tucker Carlson's. Hell, Tucker Carlson is even worse than the KKK was in 1982. Dead serious. So, yeah, I don't feel the need to debate these ideas. They were debated in 1982 and earlier, and we figured it out. We know. They're bad. They're bad ideas. So, deplatform anybody that's a member of the KKK, or anybody who is repeating those ideas. Deplatform them. I don't want them in jail. I just want their platform yanked. That's all. And there's really no need to debate this stuff anymore.
And then they never debate the ideas. And by the way, AOC, the danger here is, even though she can do it, she's already inspiring young leftists across the country, with now many others calling for deplatforming, including other people on TikTok, and of course directing it at prominent right-wing figures.
Who is calling for people to deplatform somebody specific? Is there a big movement behind it? And who is being called to be deplatformed? Like, who is being targeted in this deplatforming effort? I mean, yes, she said deplatforming works. I'm also in favor of that. Is there some specific... I mean, he's claiming that there's like this very specific, you know, like organized effort to deplatform somebody. Who? I mean, he's just making this up entirely.
So I'm sure y'all have seen Boss Babes AOC's new Instagram story, and I just want to hop on here and say that she is completely right. Deplatforming works, and I think it's time we start using our feminine voices to inspire real change in this world. And if I'm being honest, I don't really know who Tucker Carlson is, nor do I really care, but his 1995 Tommy Hilfiger look, tacky AF, so I think it's a good thing that he's gone. Anyways, I don't think we should stop with him. I think our next target needs to be Elon Musk for 3 reasons. 1, because he's white, gross. 2...
Oh, this is just ridiculous, dude. Come on. This is just a joke. I mean, yeah, there's the occasional person out there that wants to deplatform somebody. But let me tell you what Steven Crowder is doing right now. It's something called... Oop. No, please don't play this. Please don't play this. Okay. It's something called the nut-picking fallacy. I'll tell you why that would have been devastating in a second. Okay, the nut-picking fallacy. Let's talk about this. That's exactly what he's doing right now. Nut-picking is the fallacious tactic of picking out and showcasing the nuttiest members of a group as the best representatives of that group, hence picking the nut. This fallacy is committed when an arguer cherry-picks a poor representative of a group to use as an ad hominem against them. For example, anti-feminists frequently paint people who support feminism as feminazis by highlighting examples of ridiculous or cringeworthy behavior from select individuals, rather than critiquing points addressed in mainline feminist writings. That's why it's different when I criticize the people that I do, because I'm criticizing Elon Musk and Tucker Carlson and Steven Crowder, 5 million subbies on YouTube. Who are they criticizing? Who are they holding up as a bastion of the left? AOC says deplatforming works. Full stop. Then they find some rando on here taking it even further and saying we need to deplatform Elon Musk because he's white. That's nutpicking. And they try to sneak it in as an honest criticism of a legitimate target of criticism, like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. She is a public figure. Her ideas are discussed in academic circles, and she's a member of the House of Representatives. She is a legitimate target for criticism. Not this person. And AOC did not back up the ideas that this person is espousing. This is the nature of propaganda. This is how they sneak the propaganda in. Now, one more thing I wanted to mention. I almost played this video. This is God's Not Dead 2. So I've been watching God's Not Dead and God's Not Dead 2. This is a quick aside. I'll come back to Steven Crowder in a second. But I've been watching these movies on my channels like over the past week or two. And yeah, it has not been going well. They the company that owns God's Not Dead basically filed a copyright claim against me. And so I have like 9 different episodes or 9 different videos or something like that, or maybe 10 across different channels of me like reviewing the movie beginning to end, like all of it, right? And so I had to go through this process of requesting a review of the copyright system. Apparently, the company just immediately rejected it because it's just the company that has to review this. The next step is the company. I file a dispute, like an appeal, and then YouTube apparently. I'm a little unfamiliar with the process still. YouTube apparently reviews it, and if YouTube thinks that there's nothing there, that the company is just being like shitheads, then YouTube will put the video back up, and the company's next step is to file documents in court. Now, I'm completely in the clear. There's no chance in hell they're going to file a lawsuit against me for copyright infringement because I'm not infringing on their copyright. This falls within fair use, as clear as day. So they're just going to make my life difficult this entire time for who knows how long. So yeah, I've been dealing with that. But the company, I filed the first of 9, not disputes, but appeals. And the company released part 1 of the video, or the first video, first of 9 or 10. So we'll see if they release all of the others and how timely that'll be and all that other junk. But I feel like I can't just let them, I can't just not show these videos, right? I have to put these on YouTube. This is a religious extremist group trying to silence me, trying to prevent me from criticizing them at any cost. Scientology did the same thing to me one time. So I'm pretty much ready to go through whatever it takes to settle this, to make sure that I can put these up on YouTube, just about. I'm ready to go all the way. I probably won't have to, go to court or anything. I seriously doubt it. They're not that stupid. You know, if we ended up going to court, they'd 100% for sure lose. But anyways, yeah, that's what I've been dealing with lately. So I didn't want to play God's Not Dead 2 by accident because, you know, it would cause a huge mess if I did. I'd have to go through, like, the whole copyright system again for this video. Anyway, yeah, let's get back to Tucker Carlson and, what's his name? Steven Crowder. Oh, don't forget to check out my website, owenmorgan.com. I would appreciate that. Sign up for my email list. That'd be awesome. And don't forget, if you watch a video of mine, watch it beginning to end instead of just, like, jumping out at a certain point. All right, let's keep listening. So, yeah, they're engaging in the nut-picking fallacy here.
Be Elon Musk for 3 reasons. 1, because he's white, gross. 2, he's from Africa, and they're, like, really poor there. And 3...
I mean, this is satire, right? She's doing satire right now. This cannot be real. You can't convince me this is real. He's white. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if this is, like, a conservative trying to pretend to be a left-winger, because this makes no sense.
Gross. 2, he's from Africa, and they're, like, really poor there. And 3, his cars don't even work. I tried filling out my Tesla Roadster the other day, and I couldn't even find the gas hole.
Yeah, this is satire. He's not even nut-picking. This is probably a conservative. And he's using this as the basis to conclude that, you know, the left is completely unhinged. This is how propaganda works.
So I just poured it on the engine because, like, what else am I supposed to do? So I started a new hashtag, #No More Africans, so we can get him impeached from being the president of the Senate. Anyways, until next time, bye!
And by the way,
yeah, I'm convinced that that was a right-winger pretending to be a left-winger. That is not real.
Anyways.
But again, he's using this as the premise to claim that the left is calling for deplatforming people because they're white. Seriously.
Till next time. Bye.
And by the way, keep your compliments in the chat. And to Nick, keep them tasteful because we understand how adorable Riley is, okay? We're very protective of our ladies here.
Nick said gasshole.
Oh, wait. Do they know her? Apparently they do.
I don't want to hear it!
There's no lefty that looks like that.
No, exactly.
Lefty boy. I saw no 5 o'clock shadow, no giant forehead.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
She must be a new lefty.
Yeah.
Wow, dude. Okay, I guess she is on the right, and they're making a joke about people on the left being ugly. Genius. Fantastic. On point. Absolutely.
She is. She's from the new left.
Well, she made 3 lefts, and so she's back right.
There you go.
I think that's how it works. I don't know. I had a remote control car. So here's the thing. If Tucker's exit seems a little fishy, and we don't have all the information, you're not alone. And that brings us to, I want to kind of walk through the other instances that have been very similar to this because the leftists said that deplatforming works. Mm-hmm. It's time for Curious Coincidences.
Curious Coincidences? Okay. Oh, is this like a segment that he does? I don't watch his show very often, almost never. Dude, come on, get to it. Like, are they gonna... All right, here we go.
Oh, it's the worst time to come back from the stinger because it's like I have a chest burp that isn't quite there yet. But when it is, I'll just hit the button. So let's go through coincidence. Have you noticed this, Nick? Like the kind of the pattern here of conservative commentators and figures who've been getting deplatformed or attacked at an increasing rate the last 2 months?
Yeah, it lends more credence to my theory. There's 10 people in a room.
Yeah.
8 of them.
Wait, what was that? Hang on. Let me listen one more time. Think about what he's saying here.
Like the kind of the pattern here, deplatformed or attacked of conservative commentators and figures who've been getting deplatformed or attacked at an increasing rate the last 2 months.
Yeah.
Who else? What other conservative talk show hosts or whatever have been like deplatformed? What's he talking about right now?
Lends more credence to my theory. There's 10 people in a room.
Yeah.
8 of them are trans, 1 is gay, and 1's a Puerto Rican with a full headdress.
I don't know why they have to be Puerto Rican. They could be Dominican.
I'm just saying.
Could be Dominican.
This is definitely a global movement.
Okay,
I'm nervous about Tucker not being there.
But could you acknowledge that they could be Dominican?
Oh, yes.
It's possible. They don't have to be Puerto Rican.
This is so stupid. I don't feel like this is funny at all. They're trying to make jokes here apparently Puerto Ricans and Dominicans are on the left. Is that the joke they're trying to tell, or what?
Well, look, all right.
It could be Dominican.
They're busy doing other stuff.
Yeah, I know. Like winning, they're just being
Winning a
drafted
World
to the-
Series,
Yes,
or
exactly.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm just saying it could be. I just don't want to be admonished. They could be Puerto Rican. They could be Dominican. I don't know. I say Dominican. So, coincidence number one. Okay, we have Tucker. He was fired. But this comes right after, less than a week, I guess, after Fox parted ways with Dan Bongino. Now, I know Dan Bongino said, hey, no ill will, and that's likely true.
Right. So Dan Bongino did part ways with Fox News, apparently. I didn't know that guy very well, but I heard he's a nutter butter. But it also happens immediately after the Dominion lawsuit was settled with Fox. Fox News has to pay Dominion voting systems or whatever, like $780-something million. And that's a pretty big deal. I don't think they're connected, Tucker's firing and the Dominion thing, but I guess time will tell. By the by, Rick Robin Cagnan, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate that. Have you read Son of Truth and Because You're My Family? Both of these are from Brave Books. No, but I have them. I have the books. I have not read them yet. I would love to. They're on the list for sure. Anyway, thank you for the super chat. I can't wait to read those. Those may be next on the list to read. In fact, I may be reading them tomorrow. I don't know. We'll see. I may actually be doing the reading like for my Telltale Reads YouTube channel. I may be doing that on Thursday instead of Wednesday. We'll see.
But it also doesn't really seem to make a lot of sense. Dan Bongino, for people, whether you like him or don't like him, he's a consistent conservative. He's been a friend to the show.
Yeah.
The guy absolutely has a backbone. He's willing to say things that, by the way, certainly would ruffle some feathers from...
Yeah, totally. Yeah, absolutely. He's consistent in his support of KKK talking points. He's been repeating them since the 80s. He's been talking about how fantastic, white people are and how black people are ruining the country for a long time. Friend of the show. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
Sort of the milquetoast people on the right. So I don't necessarily... It's a pattern that you're seeing
He's
with
got
Fox.
a pretty good following, too, as
Yes.
opposed to some of the other,
He's here on Rumble, actually, right now. If you're right there, I'm
Yeah.
sure there's probably a link. You can watch him on Rumble because I think he was removed from YouTube not long ago.
Well, and understanding that he needed another place to be able to go, it's like, there you go.
Absolutely.
Isn't it Murdoch?
Somebody's
I'm
defending free
sorry.
speech.
No, go ahead.
Isn't it Murdoch's kid who's the problem? I blame it on the younger
I don't know.
brass.
I mean,
And Suzanne Scott,
Yeah.
put a fella in there.
I have to be careful because I was
Put
there
a
for,
fella
I was there
in
for 4.5
there. Like
years.
you what? Like I said, she's a good broad. Go ahead.
Yeah. There you go.
And he's terrific too.
No, the thing is,
Dude, what are they saying? I feel like we just missed something important. What is it that Steven Crowder just said about that woman? About Dan Bongino's daughter, or was it the Murdoch's kid?
The younger
I don't know.
brass.
I mean,
And Suzanne Scott,
yeah.
put a fella in there.
I have to be careful because I was
Suzanne Scott?
Put
there
a
for-
fella
I was there
in
for
there.
4.5
Like
years.
you what? Like I said, she's a good broad.
He dated her for 4.5 years? Is that what he said? Who the hell is he talking about?
Go ahead.
Yeah. There you go.
And he's terrific too.
No, the thing is,
Yeah, a good broad, he says. Okay.
the thing is,
What am I on ABC?
No, I
Fucking
just
face the
I
nation?
just I don't want to get sued.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't want to get sued, but
I didn't go over your briefs before.
whatever you just said. Yeah. So
He can't be sued for anything that just happened. What are they even talking about? Defamation is such a high bar to meet. It's ridiculous. It's like the default position in the U.S. is to do absolutely nothing. It's like it's so difficult to be sued for defamation in the U.S. It's so difficult to win a copyright infringement case in some situations, I guess. I don't know.
Well done.
for culpable deniability, I didn't listen to what Nick says. I never did.
I don't know what's going on, yeah.
So I said,
Deniability. He said culpable. Did he mean plausible deniability? This is just complete nonsense, all of it. These people are ridiculous.
yes, not knowing. But so, coincidence number two. Look, Matt Walsh was hacked last week. In case you don't know that. Which, look, again, this is
Oh, yeah. That was interesting. Matt Walsh was hacked, including but not limited to every email that he has ever sent or received for 20 years or some crazy thing. Oh, my God, it's crazy. I'll be interested to see if something comes out of that Matt Walsh hack. But what does that have to do with Tucker? I can't imagine the connection he's trying to build here.
Matt Walsh was hacked last week, in case you don't know that. Which, look, again, this is not about who you personally like or dislike. I know there are a lot of conservatives who like Matt Walsh. Most do. I know there are a lot of people who he rubs them the wrong way. It doesn't matter. You shouldn't revel in the joy. You shouldn't revel in the hacking.
Your mom rubs me the wrong way.
And leaking of private information. This is a concerted effort and a violation of privacy. It's a crime.
Okay, wait. How did we get here? Okay, let's just step back and think about the chain of events here, all right? So he says Matt Walsh was hacked. Matt Walsh was hacked. Yes, that's accurate. He was hacked, and that is a crime. Absolutely. I don't think I stand for, like, releasing any private data or anything. Like, I'm not a fan of, like, I wouldn't stand for any private data being released with Matt Walsh or whatever. But how does this tie back to Tucker? I'm so lost.
This is a concerted effort and a violation of privacy. It's a crime. Okay, let's also go to coincidence number 3.
What coincidence? What's the coincidence here? I'm missing it. What happened to Tucker that is similar to Matt Walsh? What? I mean, Tucker had some of his texts released. If you're watching this 5 years in the future, in the Dominion lawsuit, Tucker Carlson had his text messages subpoenaed and stuff, basically. And they turned him over and found that he knew for a fact that, Dominion voting systems did not, like, meddle in the election or any of that stuff. And that's how the lawsuit was won, basically, because they established without a shadow of a doubt that it was malicious. They knew it was a lie, and they were spreading it anyways. That's one of the preconditions to win a defamation lawsuit. That wasn't a hack. That wasn't leaked material. That was public court documents. And Tucker put himself in that situation 100%. Nothing illegal about it.
James O'Keefe
Let's step back. Listen to that one more time.
Private information. This is a concerted effort and a violation of privacy. It's a crime. Okay, let's also go to coincidence number 3. James O'Keefe was forced out from Project Veritas at the end of February. And here's the thing.
Okay, that's because, look, here's the problem. I've found the hang-up. I know why this is such an issue with Steven Crowder. The right has a whole bunch of complete scumbags in it. That's the problem. James O'Keefe used to deceptively edit videos to make situations seem like something other than what they actually were. Basically, effectively lying about people. And he ended up spending a ton of money from Project Veritas on his own interests. And the board of Project Veritas, the company he was like the CEO for, kicked him out because he was spending obscene amounts of money on his own stuff. He's using the company's bank account as a slush fund, basically, is what it was, right? That's just scumbag behavior. If you don't like the fact that some conservatives in the movement are being, like, pushed out, don't bring scumbags into the movement, and you don't have to worry about it anymore, right? Tucker Carlson, I don't know why he was fired, but he's an extremist and a stochastic terrorist, so he deserved to be fired. Who was the other person he mentioned? It was James O'Keefe, Tucker. Oh, Matt Walsh. He's a domestic terrorist, without a shadow of a doubt. Principally, I don't stand for people hacking other people and then leaking that hacked stuff. If it's, like, newsworthy, then I think I could make an exception for it, but by and large, I'm not a huge fan. Either way, that guy's a domestic terrorist, like I said, so I have zero sympathy. Mr. Softlock27, thank you so much for the super chat.
If you look at it, again, whether you like James O'Keefe or not, the worst thing it seems like he did was he maybe took someone's sandwich from the fridge.
Well, and he had the audacity to use a private plane to go raise millions of dollars from donors.
Asshole!
So he
Talking about James O'Keefe? No, he did a lot more than that. He spent a ton of money. Why are they defending this guy? He spent a ton of company money on some musical production, something or other. He was using it as a slush fund, effectively. He was wasting company money. Like, how can they justify this? Seriously.
We could make the trip possible.
Yeah.
That-
Like, come on.
So this is what happens with the personalities who you have. Right.
My gosh.
You have 4 there, or 3 that we have.
Well, you're actually missing one. You.
Oh, myself? Yeah.
Well, I
this has
mean,
been happening for a long time.
Maybe it's because it's happened for the last.
Yeah,
5,
no,
6
all the
years.
leaks been. Yeah, they always happen coincidentally.
Oh, you forget another one. Pat Robertson. They're pushing on him.
He can leg press 1,100 pounds.
Wow. Pat Robertson had leaks? I don't remember any Pat Robertson leaks. I'm going to have to look into that. Oh, my God. I'm writing that down. Pat Robertson leaks. Let's see. That's interesting. Why do so many Americans support Russia in their war against Ukraine? Even Fox News Australia, called Sky, supports Ukraine, even calling for more Aussie tanks to go there. Most Christians outside U.S. don't believe in the rapture. Interesting. Really? Yeah, I guess that makes sense. It's like an evangelical thing. Okay, I can see that. But like a Protestant thing, and the Puritans and the Protestants and all that kind of really got their boom in America in the early days. But anyways, why do they support Russia in the war against Ukraine? I don't think there are many people that do. I think there are many evangelicals that do, though. By percentage, they probably make up 7% of the U.S., but Russia has successfully worked their way into or created a propaganda network for, the Christian evangelical people. Russia, like Putin, has an in with evangelicals. Putin, God, okay. You know what? I'm going to have to, let me just show you this clip real quick, okay? Give me a second. All right, so there's a woman named Delora O'Brien. She's a QAnon member, right? Now, this video came out by Delora O'Brien. This came out early March 2022, maybe even late February 2022, okay? Now, that was immediately after the Ukraine war started. It was like a week or two after the war starts. Everybody in the United States was either shutting their mouth completely or supporting Ukraine. In fact, everybody in the world, they were either dead silent or supporting Ukraine. Because there's no good reason for what Russia did. None. If you stand against imperialism, you stand against Russia, basically, in this situation, right? Well, Delora O'Brien, right when this stuff starts, right when the war begins, QAnon member, by the way, she's a member of QAnon. She comes out there and says this.
I'm not on Putin's side. I'm not on Zelensky's side. I'm not on Trump's side. I'm on God's side. God's side is the side of truth. It just so happens that right now, our President Trump is on the side of God.
No.
Also, believe it or not, so is Putin.
No. How do you arrive at that position? This is the evidence that I needed to discover that Putin has an in with QAnon. He has like a connection to them, a link to them. QAnon is effectively like an arm of the Russian government at this point. In my opinion, I believe that QAnon was started by Putin in the first place, basically. And he kind of pulls the lever of power behind the scenes by swaying people's beliefs and, seeding these ideas here or there. Keep listening to this.
Right before I came on here, this is what was sent to me. A Russian soldier. I even have his name, and I can't give it. I'm sorry. I can't. Just research it. I'm sure it'll start coming out.
Of course, it never came out. It's completely made up.
Searching for bioweapons. There was him and a few of the other soldiers.
See, this is what's fascinating to me. This propaganda piece right here about Russia searching for bioweapons was not the immediate reasoning that Russia gave for why they were invading. The bioweapons thing didn't come until later. Originally, they were saying they were fighting Nazis. And then when that fell to pieces, they moved to the bioweapons thing. But listen to this. all the way back then, all the way in March of 2022, when when the war started, she received this piece of propaganda from who? Don't know. About Russia, finding bioweapons in Ukraine and all this other garbage.
Searching for bioweapons in central Ukraine, stumbled upon a child trafficking den.
And that right there is the thing that they used to get this to really appeal to the QAnon crowd. I don't think they don't care about bioweapons. They don't care about Nazis. They don't care about any of that. But when you say child trafficking, there's just something that goes off in like a QAnoner's brain. They're like, oh, I immediately have to take a stand on this no matter what. And the stand that I take on whatever this issue is relating to child trafficking is going to be opposed to whatever the Democrats believe or think or want or whatever. Even when it comes down to child brides, child marriages. Democrats are opposed to child marriages. You know what that means. It means we've got to support it. Anyway, the point is QAnon is an arm of the Russian propaganda machine, in my opinion. Oh, so yeah, back to what I was saying. You asked why so many Americans support Russia in the war against Ukraine. I don't think they do. I think it's a very small percentage, but the percentage that do are loud and obnoxious and scream about it constantly. And as a result, it seems like more pronounced, like they're the ones that are, in the majority. So anyways, yeah, QAnon is an arm of the Russian government, and that's why, basically.
And Pat Robertson, they're pushing on him.
He can leg press 1,100 pounds.
Wow.
What? Oh, yeah, someone bring up control room. Bring up that overlay where he's like, I leg press 1,100 pounds. And he has knee wraps, he has wrist straps, and he's putting his hands on his leg. He's like, for Jesus.
That's true. He said he could only do 850. Then Jesus came into life right up to
Exactly.
Wait, what? I've never heard of this before.
He turned his water into pre-workout.
Jesus is a monster
drink.
Hercules. Jesus gave me a spot.
Yeah. And for recovery, his final miracle, the never-ending pasta bowl at Olive Garden. Old people love Bob Evans at Olive Garden.
Oh, dude. It's not just old people. I love Bob Evans. I haven't had Bob Evans in a hot minute. I should, you know what's sad? New York City is an incredible place, but there are some chains that are really amazing, like Bob Evans. There's no Bob Evans here that I know of. There's also no Sonic Drive-In. Oh, my God, dude. I love Sonic Drive-In. And I, almost never have them because there isn't one. I think there's one on Long Island, but that's, really far away from me, so. Oh, Russia Today made a public offer to Tucker. I saw that. That doesn't surprise me at all. I'm surprised that they made it public. I feel like it probably would have been a better idea to keep it quiet, but Tucker is very obviously a Russian agent. If not a Russian agent, then at the very least a useful idiot. Somebody who carries water for Russia, does things for Russia, and spreads their propaganda for them, at the very least. No one in the world supports Russia. You need to seriously look into the Chinese propaganda where children chant in classrooms supporting Russia. Us Orthodox Christians don't believe in literal hell. I meant immediately after the war started. Everybody either supported Ukraine or were silent. China didn't say a word for a while. Eventually, China came out in favor of Russia, of course. But yeah, it took a while. And what was it? 160 countries out of 192, maybe, voted against Russia continuing their war. And the others either voted present or I think 2 of them voted in favor or voted in favor of the war against Ukraine, something like that. I don't remember now. It's been a while. Anyway, thank you guys for the super chats. Appreciate it.
Blue plate special, baby.
So Tucker Bongino, although that wasn't really a hack, obviously. Matt Walsh hacked. James O'Keefe ousted.
You.
Yeah, and then...
You notice how he slipped that in? He says the Bongino Tucker hack, although it wasn't a hack. No, it wasn't. So what's the coincidence here? He's trying to like convince us that there are too many coincidences, that this should be like raise red flags. There's no coincidence. Oh yeah, somebody says, sorry, I keep pausing it. I'm going to step back so we can hear the whole thing. Smash that like button, or optionally, if you choose, you can press it lightly or caress it gently. You don't have to smash it. Sometimes smashing doesn't do the job properly, I've come to find. Sometimes poking it gently is actually preferable. And if that's the case for you, you can do that for the like button instead of smashing it. But don't forget to watch the videos that I release from beginning to end, if you do watch one. Like, you don't, I'm not going to, like, beg for views or something here. I'm just saying, if you do watch a video, try to make it to the very end. I've considered making my videos shorter also in an effort to kind of, because it goes by watch time percentage, apparently. I believe. I think that's how it works. So, anyway.
James O'Keefe ousted. Yeah, and then you have a coincidence number 4. Tucker's firing, by the way. It also comes immediately after Fox settled this lawsuit with Dominion. Something else you may not know, coincidence number 5. Rumble has been under relentless DDoS attacks since we've gone over. And this
Okay, I don't know that any of this is true, like about Rumble or any of that, but guess what? Companies go through DDoS attacks. That happens. I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't like that. I'm not in favor of that. How does that relate to Tucker Carlson being fired? What's the coincidence here? I'm not seeing the coincidence.
This is what happens rather than covering the numbers, rather than covering what actually happens, this monumental shift. Notice you don't really see it at places like Media Matters or Daily Beast. What happens is there are attacks behind the scenes, like yesterday where the view counter was like Ed Rooney's attendance computer went beep, 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 beep. So Rumble, and here's the beauty of Rumble, though, they understand this and they're building it out so they are dependent on no one else. That just takes more time. But they have been...
What, are you trying to tell me Rumble is currently building a DDoS protection network like Cloudflare or something? That would take an absurd amount of time and money. I can't imagine that they're actually trying to do that. Although it would make sense that, like, I would be willing to bet that Cloudflare won't work with Rumble or something, or can't for one reason or another. I can't imagine, like, video sharing networks or whatever, are easy to create DDoS protections for. By the way, if you don't know what DDoS is, just a brief, 15-second explanation. It's basically where, when you go to a website, you are sending a request to that server. Like, hey, can you send me this web page? I want to look at it. And the server runs the program to send you a copy of the source code that belongs, to that website or whatever. So a DDoS attack is when you get a network of tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, maybe even millions of computers, or basically of requests, all hitting the server at the same time. And when it does that, parts of the server kind of fall apart. It starts prioritizing certain programs over others because it can't keep up with all the requests. And it makes it vulnerable to hacks, makes it easier to kind of access stuff if everything is kind of falling apart. Now, server administrators have gotten pretty good at protecting against that stuff by banning IP addresses if they request the same website more than 2 or 3 times within a minute, right? But that's why hackers will find cheap, easy targets, just little websites around that, don't have much protection or aren't that elaborate or don't have fantastic security, and they'll hack into them because they're simple. And now they have a node that they can use to send a request through a DDoS attack, basically. That's how DDoSing works. And Cloudflare is a network that can absorb up to 100,000 or something, maybe 1 million different DDoS nodes simultaneously. I don't even remember. They advertise it on their website. And they'll work with just about anybody. So I'm not sure why Rumble isn't using somebody like Cloudflare. That's weird.
More time. But they have been subject to relentless DDoS attacks. Hopefully today, this is still up there right now. If you're watching, hit the Rumble button and let them know that you love them. Comment on Rumble because it happens at least once a week where there's a concerted effort. All of this at one time. At what point do you say, hey, this is a coincidence when the left, like AOC, these people are saying, hey, deplatforming really works. One side demands transparency. One side precludes it.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Transparency? What? What is he even talking about right now? Nothing that he just said established the idea that the left excludes like transparency. What does he mean the left? Did he say precludes it? I think he said precludes transparency. What does he mean? What's he even referring to? He didn't establish like anything to back that position up. It's nonsense.
One side demands transparency. One side precludes it.
Yeah. And you know what the guys over there, so I was on the phone with them a lot yesterday, and Chris and his team of engineers, they basically just work around the clock to get these things fixed. So thank you guys for the work you're doing because, look, it's hard to set this up. It's not hard because you have to compete. That's hard enough, right?
Right.
Your mom's hard.
It's not hard because the game's not fair. That's hard enough, right? It's not hard because the government's all against you and they want you to lose. It's hard because when you start to win, other people start to try to take you down. Not competing fairly by attacking.
Such victims, right? These poor guys, they're being victimized by everybody around them. Can't people just leave these poor millionaires alone and let them repeat KKK talking points? Like, why can't people just let them do their thing without criticizing the fact that they're repeating KKK talking points? Honestly, it's just sad.
You behind the scenes by making your tech hard, by making your life hard.
Yeah.
So thanks for all the work, guys. We really do appreciate it.
And by the way, this is something that's very common. I was speaking with a lawyer who has represented some of the biggest clients in Hollywood.
Yeah.
The most common thing, let me ask you this, if you're watching, like Matt Walsh, okay? My heart really goes out to the guy. Does anyone out there, would you want every single one of your private texts or emails or search history to be available to the public?
No, I wouldn't. I also wouldn't like it I wouldn't appreciate it if somebody was acting like a domestic terrorist and inspiring terrorist attacks on children's hospitals and, you know, any number of other people and things and places. I mean, Boston Children's Hospital is not the only place that Matt Walsh inspired a terrorist attack on. There are lots of them. And I also wouldn't like it if somebody was intentionally, maliciously, specifically, in my opinion, lying about the trans community, about demonizing a group of people in an effort to hurt them, to destroy them. And a matter of fact, Matt Walsh not too long ago said in a video, if you're disturbed by the things that I say about the trans community, you should hear what I don't say about the trans community, not publicly. Something to that effect. I need to find that clip. I saw it recently, and yeah, I need to figure out where it is so I have a copy of it. But I don't want anybody to be hacked. I don't want my private texts going out. I also don't want anybody to act like a terrorist. Unfortunately, we don't live in a world of there's a saying here, isn't there? There's something really funny, right? If we lived in a world of likes and haves, something, I don't remember. Anyway, we don't live in a world like that, unfortunately. So
No. Think about that. Now, it doesn't mean you're doing anything illegal.
No!
But don't you... Sound like Tom. Like, no, guys, no!
Oh, God.
I mean, you know, it's a violation of your privacy. There are people. So there was a celebrity.
This is another part of the propaganda, what he's doing here. He is focusing on Matt Walsh's bad luck or the hard situation he's found himself in, which is having his text messages sent out, rather than focusing on the fact that he's a domestic terrorist. Seriously, look into internal Chinese propaganda about Russia. It's really bad, and lie to the rest of the world about neutrality. Oh, 100%. Yeah, I don't even think that they're lying about neutrality anymore, are they? I think they came out, China did, not too long ago, and kind of voiced their support of Russia. Or what was it? Or maybe it was that they sent a bunch of supplies to Russia, something like that. I don't remember now, but yeah, it's not good. I agree, 100%. How about kissing the like button? You can do that as long as the computer registers the click. I think that's fine. Yeah, kissing would work too. Let me know how the like button likes that.
An A-list female star. This is a story that was related.
It rules out Kathy Griffin. Go ahead.
Yes, it does.
Paris Hilton?
Yeah.
I don't know. You're probably in we're in Deborah Winger territory until 2 years in.
Okay, I'm sorry. I think I missed that. Let's step back a little.
An A-list female star. This is a story. It's a violation of your privacy. There are people. So there was a celebrity, an A-list female star. This is a story that was related.
It rules out Kathy Griffin. Go ahead.
Yes, it does.
Paris Hilton?
Okay, A-list celebrity. Why are they taking shots at these people? I don't get it.
Yeah.
I don't know. You're probably in we're in Deborah Winger territory until 2 years in. You're this is not nearly as
Vivian Vance.
We bet on the wrong person. She's no Annette Bening. So this was a top star. Someone broke into this person's house. This is pre-internet. Stole nude pictures.
Oh, that's right. You told me.
Stole nude pictures of this woman and was going to reveal them to the public. Now here's the thing. That's a crime. But the person who did this was so confident that this celebrity would rather forego the embarrassment of nude pictures being released that she would settle rather than prosecute the crime. This happened.
Sure. I can see that. I mean, I don't know what story he's referring to. He's not giving us specific names, but okay. I mean, this hypothetical, I can see this happening.
Happens all the time. Shit.
I don't know about happening all the time, but okay, I can see this being a plausible story.
Takedowns of people in positions of power, certainly public positions, happen all the time. And I think that Matt Walsh was smart, by the way, to say, I was hacked, because you know what they were going to try and do. Yeah. I think that Tucker Carlson saying, hey, look, this is what's going on, it removes a lot of those teeth, but you just need to know that that's what happens all the time. And Rumble, basically being held hostage by, hey, if you're too successful, we're going to keep DDoSing attacking you.
Okay, people get DDoS'd all the time. What's he talking about? He's acting like this is the first time in history anybody has ever been DDoS'd. I've been DDoS'd before. It's really not that uncommon, although it's a lot harder to get away with it now, because when a DDoS attack happens, companies usually server farms, like AWS, Amazon's web services, usually they will track, the DDoS systems that were used, and they will alert the owners of the servers, the nodes, and tell them you've got a hack, you need to clean it up. But yeah, I've been DDoS. This isn't that rare. What's he talking about? He's acting like this is a point of persecution for all conservatives. They're so mistreated because conservatives are the only ones that ever get DDoS'd.
Help me out.
Denial of service tactics, where they overload servers, they hack in behind. It's kind of an umbrella term. Point is, they're being hacked.
I get that at a restaurant.
Yeah.
It's not really an umbrella term. It's very specific. There's a specific meaning behind this, but okay. He doesn't want to explain it right now, I guess.
We're going to keep DDoSing attacking you.
DDoS, help me out.
Denial of service tactics, where they overload servers, they hack in behind. It's kind of an umbrella term. Point is, they're being hacked.
I get that at a restaurant.
Yeah, Bob Evans. The early bird special, where you can.
It stands for distributed denial of service, DDoS. Some people call it DDoS, and that bothers me like nothing else.
Go, you can get a stack of pancakes and hear the N-word relentlessly around you.
Really?
Jeez. Yeah, Bob Evans.
You got the address?
Only till 10 a.m. though. Then they outlaw the N-word
yes,
after
that. Yes, that's true. No, it's just said in code.
Well.
But they're too loud, so they don't say it in code. They still just say it.
By the way, can I admonish you really quickly? Can we get an admonishment coming?
What happened?
Yeah. 10 a.m. though. Then they outlaw the N-word after that.
Yeah.
Pat Robertson actually leg pressed 2,000.
Oh my word! Do we have the video or the picture?
I don't know if we have an overlay or something. Hootie?
What?
Nothing?
Where are you guys going with this one?
You don't have your microphone anywhere near you.
Hootie, do you have the picture?
Have you done this before?
Yeah, we have a picture here. Did Pat Robertson leg press 2,000 pounds? This is an article written in 2006. According to the CBM website, Robertson worked his way up lifting a ton with the help of
I don't care what some article says. Do we have a picture of the old man breaking his hip?
So we have this as well.
When he was 73.
Oh, okay. So 40 years ago? Okay, here we go.
Yeah, Pat Robertson, I think, isn't he like 93? I think he's 93. Wait, this is 06? He was 73 in 06. Is that true? Let's see. How old is Pat Robertson? No need to wonder. Just loaded up our question gun. Let's go answer hunting. 93. Yep, he's 93 years old. Wow. That is old. I hope I live to be that old.
There we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, of this extraordinary. Well, there,
It's just
there
a
it is.
still?
Is this, this is, you can see that.
Yeah, I can't
it was
see
a
nothing.
monstrous amount of weight on that thing. But you measured the 2,000. You measured the 2,000 pounds.
His range of movement
there's
was
one
like a
time.
half
Well,
inch.
look, I guarantee you that he did it. He took his miracle water, and
Come on.
it worked.
Yeah,
I mean,
Why do you need that?
by the way, a leg press is not a real lift, okay? If you can lift 2,000 pounds, I might as well lift it with a forklift. I'm the strongest man in the world.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't believe this. It seems like they're even skeptical of this. I'm just having a hard time believing it.
Also shit himself. They don't show that clip.
Exactly.
You
This is one big glorified guerrilla campaign for Depends.
He had the opportunity. God was listening closely. I know God hears us all. Don't get me wrong here, but God was listening closely enough to Pat Robertson that he used it on lifting 2,000 pounds.
Yeah.
You couldn't save
The
some
Lord
kids?
helped me leg press 2,000 pounds, then he parted my red cheeks.
It's like,
Never mind the start.
Dude, why? This is terrible.
Still funny. I'm 98. It's still funny.
come on.
All right, you guys can comment below. This has been Curious Coincidences.
Yeah, okay. So I guess that's the end of it. That made no sense. But you know what I find particularly interesting about this whole thing? So let's see. I think I started at, it was about 53 minutes into the video. Again, we're going to watch the entire thing beginning to end tomorrow. There's a lot more to this. In the beginning, he talks about, he talks about blackmail and extortion by Candace Owens. Oh, it's going to be interesting. So give this a look. If you missed this, if you're watching this the next day and the live stream already happened, don't sweat it. Go to my website, owenmorgan.com. I have all of my stuff aggregated there. So just search for like Steven Crowder. Video should pop up. I mean, it may not be edited and cleaned up yet. So depending on when you see this, it may not be available yet. But within the next, week, certainly it should be uploaded there. Anyways, yeah, he talks about like, he gets nervous and stuff. He talks about his divorce. Apparently he's getting divorced. It's crazy. So give that a listen. 10:30 a.m. Wednesdays and Thursday mornings. Every Wednesday and Thursday. Although this week is complicated because I'm meeting up with a YouTuber friend that's coming to the area, but that's neither here nor there. What I find interesting about this whole thing, though, is that 55 minutes is roughly when this starts, right? 54 minutes, and we just made it to an hour and 7 minutes, so 12 minutes, right? That's 12 minutes that we spent listening to this guy, and half the time he wasn't even talking about Tucker Carlson. He devoted an entire segment to Don Lemon. It was nonstop talking about Don Lemon. I think, 20 minutes, 30 minutes maybe? He's talking about Don Lemon being removed from CNN, and he devoted a fraction of a 12-minute segment to Tucker Carlson. And it was at the end. That's fascinating, right? Fascinating how they kind of protect their own. There's no reason to even do that. Like, if somebody does something wrong, you should be able to call them out. If somebody doesn't do something wrong, you shouldn't have this bizarre obsession with hating them, the way that he seems to have this obsession with hating anybody to the left of hunting the homeless for sport. It's just crazy, dude. Anyways, yeah, let me know what you think about it in the comments. Also, don't forget to smash the like button. Follow me over to my Telltale Unfiltered YouTube channel, link in the description to see the rest of this tomorrow. Couple more things. Check out my website, owenmorgan.com. Watch my videos beginning to end if possible. And finally, thank you, Jonna Funkhauser, for the sticker. Stampede122 said it once already. Pat Robertson is a dino at this point. Oh, 100%, dude. Again, I wish I could live to this age. Like, this guy was alive when segregation was still in effect. In fact, he was preaching and probably owned a ministry when segregation. He probably segregated his congregation. I'd be surprised if he didn't. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Anyways, yeah. Thank you guys so much for coming. Appreciate it. Don't forget to smash that like button, and I will see you guys, or gently caress it, whatever you guys think. And I will see you guys hopefully tomorrow morning. If not tomorrow morning, I will see you next week, okay?